What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how wide receivers can stop dropping passes. So we're going to be showing some examples of some drops. We're going to be breaking down what the wide receiver could have done better on that drop, and then showing you a positive example where a wide receiver does it correctly. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it could teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and you would like a daily training schedule for on-field drills, everything you should be doing for your route running, your hands, your press releases, check out that very first link in the description below for our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout plan. What you'll get access to is 200 plus wide receiver drills with sets, reps, and a video example breaking down each one. So check out that very first link in the description below if you're interested in that, fellas. Let's get started with this video. So one of the passes that wide receivers struggle with all the time is a bullet pass over the middle, where it's a quick slant, where it's a quick in, maybe a post, and that quarterback's putting some heat on it. So what can I do to make sure that I catch that ball every single time? So this is going to be an incorrect example of a wide receiver dropping a pass, right? Great route, hell of a route, but he obviously drops this thing. So when that ball is coming over the middle, number one thing you have to focus on is looking that ball all the way into your hands and taking that photo, if you will. So like something that I tell my wide receivers is that when that ball makes contact with your hands, you want to take a photo of the ball. Pretend your eyes are a camera and you want to take a photo of it. Essentially what that means is like the only thing in your line of vision, like you're probably watching this video right now, what's in your line of vision is this, right? The screen. You're not looking at the screen and then have something else in the corner of your eye. You're only looking at the screen. That's how it should be with the ball. That ball hits your hands. The only thing in your line of vision should be the football. Now, can you think about that during a live game scenario where you got a DB on your hip, you're reading the coverage, you're worried about getting into open space? No. This is something that you rep out, and it's got to be a habit throughout practice. When you're in t-shirt and shorts, maybe you're in shoulder pads and a helmet, but you're in practice, we're not going against a live defense. That is when you can rep out that kind of trigger phrase in your head, take that photo, look the ball all the way in. Because everybody else say, oh, keep your eye on it, right? That doesn't necessarily work for everybody, right? And it might work for you. Like if somebody tells you, hey, keep your eye on the ball, fine, and it helps you catch it, that's great. Maybe take a photo doesn't work for you and you need to find other things. Something that I've seen a lot of success with wide receivers in practice, what I have them rep out is when that ball hits their hands, I have them look for something on the ball. So I have them look for the laces or no laces. And I want to try to hold them accountable, and they have to verbally call out if they see laces or if they don't see laces. So if that ball hits your hands and you see the threads, you need to verbally yell it out. If you don't verbally yell something out or say something, that means you didn't look the ball all the way in. So it kind of holds you accountable to look the ball in. What I've seen some wide receiver coaches do, I don't personally do this, but I've seen guys put numbers on the 4 quadrants of the football. You know how football's got like those 4 sections? They'll number it 1, 2, 3, and 4. And whatever number you see, you have to call out. Holds you accountable to build a good habit of you looking the ball all the way in. Because the drops usually happen, fellas, when you take your eyes off of this thing. And we're going to talk about some other reasons as this video continues why wide receivers drop a pass. But that is the number one thing. Keeping that, not taking their eye off the football. That's going to help you be more consistent with your hands. Just make sure we look it all the way in. So now we're looking at this player from Tank Dell. He's running a slant. Ball's thrown a little bit later, but I want you to watch the catch. Watch the catch point here. Watch this like freeze frame. And again, I will bet everything that I own that Tank Dell is not thinking about looking the ball in on this catch. It is a habit. It is something that he has developed from reps upon reps upon reps. So when that ball hits his hands, watch where he's at. Picture frame. He's seeing the football hit his hands. Now, another thing that wide receivers like to do is when that ball hits their hands, they'll let the ball cross their face. So that, like, let's say it's a bullet pass, ball will be thrown, they'll try to catch the ball like on the back half of their body. You see how Dell holds this thing like on almost the front half of his frame? That's where we want to be with any type of bullet pass. If we let that ball cross my face, that's going to cross out of that picture frame, that line of vision where we need to take that photo with my eyes. So make sure we don't let the football cross my face and we are seeing the football make contact with my hands. That is how we can get more consistent. You're warming up with a quarterback. You're doing tennis ball drills by yourself. You know, you're throwing routes with a quarterback. These are the things you should be thinking about. There are a lot of things we need to think about as a wide receiver in a live game scenario, like what's the coverage, how close a DB is, how far he is from me, what type of leverage does he have. All of those things is what you should be thinking about in a game. And we can't spend too much time thinking about it, but catching is not one of those. This needs to be a habit that you have built up. So let's play this full speed again one more time, and then we're going to talk about why wide receivers drop over the shoulder catches, which is another one that so many people struggle with. So this is a clip here from Christian Watson. Now, there are two reasons why he drops this over the shoulder catch. Then we're going to break down this clip from A.J. Brown in the Super Bowl. So when this ball is thrown, number one, how many of you guys have heard the phrase like catch the ball in a diamond before, right? So like you're over the middle, it's like that quick slant, it's a post. Coaches will be like, hey, keep your hands in a diamond, right? So what that essentially means, if you don't know, is you want to keep your thumbs connected and the index finger connected to make like a diamond shape. So when it's an over-the-shoulder pass, obviously you don't have a diamond. What I like to say is you want to try to keep your pinkies connected. So when this ball is thrown to Christian Watson, you see how his pinkies are not connected. There is a big gap between his hands. Now, how many of you guys have this problem where it seems like on deep passes, that ball just shoots right through the middle of your hands? This is why, because those pinkies are not connected, and that's why that ball will drop. Now, another reason why it drops, and it brings us back to the first example, I just don't want to repeat myself over and over again. I want you to watch his eyes. He's tracking it, but he doesn't have that picture frame. That picture frame, his eyes should be on his hands right now to secure that pass. So two things on over-the-shoulder passes. Number one, trust your eyes. It's the same thing that we talked about in the first example. It's just a different hand placement. Number two, keeping those pinkies connected so that ball does not slip through the middle of our hands. So let's play this again, full speed one more time. And Christian Watson, this is probably one of the only bad drops that he had on the year. I really like how he plays, not to put him on blast or nothing, but it's a good example for you younger wide receivers to see. So now, A.J. Brown's catching this pass over the shoulder. Deep pass. I want you to pay attention to his eyes, and I want you to pay attention to his hand placement. So ball is thrown over the top. What does he do? Pinkies connected, looks that ball all the way in. That is textbook right there in terms of how you catch an over-the-shoulder pass. So again, he sees the ball. He's tracking it. When that ball makes contact with his hands, where are his eyes? His eyes are seeing the football make contact with his hands. Now again, over-the-shoulder passes. So many people struggle with working on over-the-shoulder passes because they don't have a quarterback to throw to them. So if you don't have a quarterback to throw to you, you need to get creative, right? So something I have my wide receivers do, or what I tell them to do at least, is that when you don't have a quarterback to throw to you and you struggle with over-the-shoulder passes, you need to work on your hand-eye coordination, being able to look that ball in and track it over the shoulder when it's thrown deep. So something that you could do, get a tennis ball, a baseball, a golf ball. I'm sure all of you have some kind of small ball that you could bounce off of a wall, bounce off of your garage, whatever it might be. And if you're just thinking, well, I don't have a tall enough wall, go in your room and take a knee and do it like that off of your bedroom wall. I don't care what it is. You just need to be able to get this in, because so many people want to make excuses for the boring stuff because it's boring and they don't actually want to do the actual work that's going to benefit them because it's not flashy. It's not flashy. It takes reps and it's going to be boring. So you stand with your back up against a wall. You take that tennis ball. Your eyes are going to be forward and your eyes are going to be closed. You're going to bounce that tennis ball over your head off of a wall. When it makes contact with the wall, you're going to look up. When you hear it make contact with the wall, you're going to look up, open your eyes, find the tennis ball, and track it into the catch to simulate this right here. Because again, it's all, at the end of the day, it's all hand-eye coordination. If you could catch a tennis ball, maybe you mix in a one hand, another one hand, two hands, maybe you mix in catching with the non-dominant hand. All of those things are going to make you better when it's actual football. If you catch a tennis ball, you catch a football. Now, again, look at his technique here. We talked about this. Does he have a big gap between his hands? No. His pinkies are relatively connected. You don't have to touch them or anything, but don't have this big gap. So when you do track that ball, it's not going to fall through your hands, and we can just secure that thing. Let's play this again, full speed one more time. Great job by A.J. Brown making this deep catch, very clutch catch, and looking that ball all the way in. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like an 8-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule with over 200+ wide receiver drills you can do with sets, reps, and a video example of each one, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.